My full name is Emmanuel Gurek Majuk, but I'm best known by my stage name Emo. I've been doing comedy for about 2018 is when I started taking it seriously. I was working in labouring at Coles Logistics. I did that for about a decade, but I developed a disdain for labouring. So no, because that's turned out to be my demographic now. So like a lot of white people buy my tickets for my show. I like to play to everyone, but you don't pick your audience. Funny enough, I get 60% of my ticket revenues from white people, but my show is for everyone. Like, it's a very diverse show. I go in on myself. I leave it all on that stage. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm proud that I get any type of people in. You know what I mean? It's not a culture based where I'm more aiming for any diversity group. No, I'm aiming for everyone. I throw my net out and whatever comes back, I'm happy with. I've had a very good run, man. So most of my shows have either been packed out or almost sold out. So I've been having a very good run for my Melbourne Comedy Festival. Yeah.
Now, you delivered your routine with what appears to be very good, well-rehearsed precision. Now, right at the front of the audience, there was a woman who had one of those laughs.
Yeah.
One of those piercing cackle laughs.
Yes, the hyena.
That a lot of comedians would get very distracted by and who would turn into a running joke throughout the show.
Yeah.
You didn't do that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how hard it was for you to maintain poise with that laughing, cackling, constantly coming out from your front row?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I don't want to punch down. So, and that person was having a very good time. That was a male, by the way. But yeah, it made the show. I didn't punch down. I didn't speak ill of him. I just took my time replying back to certain questions, and whenever I was doing my crowd work and stuff, I just made sure that I let the laughter die out first before I moved on to the next one.
Not punching down, is that part of your philosophy?
Yes, of course, man. Because my comedy is to bring people together, not to divide. So like punching down is a form of that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy when someone comes to my show that they leave knowing that they had a great time and that I've done my job. My job is to make you happy, not to have you go home and think, oh, what an asshole this guy was tonight. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a storyteller. I love to tell stories. I've always been telling stories since the beginning of time. Only now I get to do it for a living, so that's amazing. And I get to travel and do it while I'm doing it. So like, I'm very happy, man. Like, considering like I mentioned earlier, 2018 is when I started taking it seriously. Like, I've come a very long way, and I'm very proud of it.
You make a living out of this?
Yeah, I make a full living out of this. Yes.
Fantastic.
Course, yes.
How long have you been making a full living out of comedy?
Well, I quit my job officially 2019, but of course 2020 was a write-off for everyone. So like that gave me the time and the tools to execute and get myself ready for this full-time job that I've got. This comedy, this thing about it that I really love. So yeah, I keep God first, man. I'm from a Christian household. Both my parents are religious parents. We grew up as Anglicans, but my children, their mother is Catholic, and my kids do the Holy Communion and everything like that. So always God first, man. I am religious. I'm not a practicing religious thing, but I do know that there is a higher power out there, and I definitely hold on to that. So I do live in Perth, Western Australia. I've been there since 1996. I'm in Melbourne right now, currently staying in St Kilda with my friend. I did stay in Footscray for a bit, but yeah, like I travel around. I get around. You ask anyone, I get around. My comedy icon, Dave Chapelle's a comedy god to me. I think he can never do no wrong. Dave's one of those guys you can't cancel. He's just organic. You know that he comes out in the spirit of happiness. Never punching down, always punch. Yeah, like Dave and Eddie Murphy. Bill Cosby's done.
I know his career
Yeah.
is done,
Yeah.
and his reputation is done, but his comedy in the 70s and the 80s, does that factor in at all?
Given the horrific nature of what Cosby did, it's kind of hard to be able to separate those two. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's had his day in court. If anything, we should just forget. This guy's the limit. There's no such thing as a crowd too small. Too big. Sky's the limit. I want what God has in store for me. I wouldn't say so, but to be honest with you, I'm in it for the sport. I love being a comic, and I don't really use it to pick up girls because it's more of a career move for me. But I've never been that terrible with picking up girls anyway. I mean, so this thing about it, yeah, it helps, but yeah, like detrimental, man. Because what you see right now is when someone doesn't like anything, they want it to be cancelled, right? Like you know what? Every comic's different. Like if you don't like what you're seeing on whatever channel it is that you're hearing it on, change the channel. That material may not be for you, but as long as that person is organic and it's not coming out to harm or maliciously beat and spread hatred or anything of that sort. Like just remember, everything's different for somebody, like for everyone else. You know what I mean? Psych myself up. I always tell myself that you can do this. That's for damn sure because I know I can. And if I don't believe in myself, then who will? You know what I mean? Your comedy god, Dave. He's my comedy god.
Yeah. But I mean, a comedy god who watches over comedians.
Well, I don't know if there's a specific god in place. I believe there's only one god. And I don't believe in multiple gods.
Yeah. The comedy god that makes a coincidence happen or something that seems to suggest I have no idea where that came from and must have come from a comedy god.
We get that every single show, man. Like, every show's been different. I've been enjoying it. A lot of my stuff that I do on stage nowadays is crowd work. So I enforce and use the crowd as well. So the show's not just about me, you know what I mean? And it's tailored to that specific night. Wow, I've had 2 failed relationships. Because comedy's at the top front line, you know what I mean? I don't mean like I broke up with someone because of comedy. I'm saying because obviously comedy requires me traveling and going places like Melbourne and Sydney. I did Montreal, and so like there's not a consistent time frame to be in a relationship at the moment. You know what I mean? My time with my kids is being used as well. Worst thing, probably when you get that one heckler that isn't there for your best interest. Someone that's just talking in the middle of your show, and you're just like, why did you buy a ticket tonight? It's something I can't handle. Like I don't get those anyway in my shows anyway. But yeah, like you get some shows where some people are just dickheads. And like I said, I'm not punching young, so like, I handle my business. Obviously, I've dealt with racism all my life, but comedy right now it's a prime example showing that we can be diverse and we can get along. So yeah, look at me. Look at people coming out to my shows from all walks of life.
It's a slightly confronting show, but you don't have a confrontational style.
No.
Can you tell me a bit about the art of striking that balance?
Yeah, well, so my shows kind of give the viewer the chance to hear my story without being in a space where you feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's like when you go to a safari and you're in the back of that station wagon and you're safe, but you are right there in a safe circle to enable to laugh. You know what I mean? So my show allows you to do that. So.